Hello, this is LakeLogic, the company brain for AI data teams. Today I'm going to talk through the open source libraries which are available on Pipey for download. We can start adding business value to your organization today, no cost, just available for anybody to use. You can come to our website and try them out for yourself. If you come to the website lakelogic.io and you click on the open source tab, there's a quick start button here, which opens up a collaborative library within the Google Cloud, which allows you to try out these for yourself. You download the LakeLogic library here. As you can see, it's available there on Pipey. And then you can choose which engine you want it to run on. LakeLogic is compatible with Polars, DuckDB, and Spark. Polars is column storing very fast, so I'm going to use that for this demonstration. But you can use DuckDB if you're more used to a relational database model. And Spark if you've got enterprise scale data that you want to work with, a large amount of data. Just pull that in. So here we go. Here's an example of a contract that we might set up. It's set up in YAML. Um, we have some metadata about the data set we're looking at, e-commerce orders. And the model, you can see here, we want to have order IDs must be included. In fact, I've got it up here in plain text. No bad emails. We don't have a negative amounts, and our statuses um, should be in values that are unusual, statuses you've never seen. And then PII text shouldn't be in plain text. Okay. As you can see here, we've got the model specifying that we want to have certain values to be true. We've specified we want our PII information to be partially masked, puts in the silver layer. We've specified the data types we want those fields to be. We have a basic transformation converting dollars into euros. It's only a calculation, just showing that we can use SQL to have transformations in our data. And then we have some basic quality rules. Valid email must be in a certain format. We want positive amounts, as we described earlier on. The statuses must be the values that we have defined by our application, and the currency must be in one of the following. Now I can run this. Remember I was saying earlier on I'm using Polar, so that'll be very, very fast. As you can see there, it's already run. And we can see the outcomes here. We've got a data set of 1,000 records, of which we had 100 being invalid and 900 being valid. We can see a breakdown of the ones that didn't meet the rules we expected by our contract. Okay, and then we can prove that. So if I run this assertion here to reconcile what was bad and good, you can see here 111 were bad and 389 were correct. Okay, what was good? So I've got my data sets specified into good and bad. So we can actually see the values of those records that met the criteria and didn't meet the criteria. And you can look and see the records which met our criteria easily enough. And because you've got that data set defined, you can then process that data in any way you wish. What was caught? We can see our values in here, which didn't meet our rules. You've got a specification column which is returned, showing you the LakeLogic errors, the categories, the quarantine state, and the quarantine reprocess. Then, of course, you can take that data set and do with it as you wish. So, in other words, you could go ahead and you could try to validate that data, correct that data, you can quarantine the data, or whatever the business needs to do. You can also deliver a full audit trail here, as you can see. Run that. You can see what's happened with the data through our processes. And that's our first video on how to use the libraries associated with Pipey, with LakeLogic, which you can download from Pipey. As you can see here, you can define contracts for your data, which can be applied directly to your data very easily, allowing you to manage data quality issues um, within your systems, saving a lot of time, effort, and of course, money. Thank you for listening.